So before we get too far into the game, we did get 2 subscribers while we were having connection issues earlier, and I deeply apologize for not giving shout out. So before we get this game too far away, big thanks to Steer of Doom and Ninja Mao for being the first 2 subs today. The only 2 subs today. Thank you guys very much for your support in the channel, and congratulations on immigrating to Base Tradia, or becoming a Base Tradian. I don't know. We'll find a cool way to say that at some point. But game number 3 underway for the semifinals of the OlimoLeague. Spawning here in the top left corner of the map, it is going to be MVP's Red Terran Salvation.
In the bottom right, as the blue Zerg, it's true.
You know, Salvation's been okay, so like I'm trying to think how to describe it. Like the focus fire's been so sick, but it feels like the multitasking isn't there. Like his focus is sharp as a razor's edge, but then like as you point out, splitting to 2 separate locations just like seemed like too difficult of a task. Pre-repairing missile turrets, like all these things went wrong. True also starts off with this pool first once again. I wouldn't be too shocked if he opened with gas. I don't think his opener last game was that strong, but this time, if he's going CC first, yes, I think it will be.
Now, it's not the greatest thing, because if you do make the lings, then I think the command center actually just finishes. So they just lift up. But if you get speed behind it, and they're not really going to have a scout because they don't have a Reaper, they want 14cc, and even if they did, the speedlings would kill it. They don't know what you're doing, so they really don't want to push out. So yeah, they have 2 command centers. They may even go up to 3 command centers, and Salvation has shown that he likes the 3cc, but they're not really going to be able to do anything else. Like the Hellen's going to be stuck on the main for a long time. You might force them to go into a build they didn't want to initially, so for example, Banshees. It could work out rather well, but True actually does not get any lings to complement this.
Doesn't even start the gas, man.
He did.
Well, he gets 24 and then pulls off, so I mean,
yeah.
I don't...
Well, I mean, he saw the 14cc, so he's like, okay, well, getting lings at this point is not going to cancel the CC. But I still think having that fear with the speedlings would have been worth it.
Yeah, hell, even just forcing a liftoff, you know, having to sit in the main, buy all the time in the world.
It's 2 choices, right? Like, maybe if this was life, he would have gone for it. He would have gone for a lot of lings, actually. But True decides to go for just the return greediness. Gets this very fast 3rd hatchery.
Well, just a small question in the chat while we're waiting here for the game to pick up, and Russian True decides to take it. Aiden Scott asks, how can we use Crown the Empire as the intermission music? Just wondering, since they're one of my favorite bands. Because it's listed under copyright-free music, and I don't get the VODs muted. I don't know. It's a good song. I like it. And the whole thought process goes into it, guys. Like, step 1, be copyright-free. Step 2, don't sound like crap. There you go. Pick a song. Match it to an intro. Bam!
Or
creative process.
Step 1, be K-pop. Step 2, miraculously never gets the copyright.
Yeah, I don't understand. I'm not complaining, but I don't understand. Like, whatever. Catalina's letting us get away with a lot of things it shouldn't. Anyways, Bunker does come at the front for Salvation, so I mean, obviously he didn't scout to know there's going to be pool or gas or anything like this, but it's nice to just have that out there, not get caught off guard. Usually try and get that 6-minute wall down if you're really worried about your opponent hitting you with like early roaches, but True doing none of these things, just droning like a, I don't know, like a happy Zerg player, quite frankly.
Yeah, there's no other analogy for droning. Droning like a
droning like rabbits having sex in the spring. I don't know.
No, I was gonna go with like Amazon delivering your stuff, because they have drones now, right?
Oh, I've heard about that. Yeah, you like order like a barbecue and like 4 of them like lift it up and fly it. I don't think that's
implemented yet.
Whatever. I remember reading something on Reddit like a while ago. There was South Park episode recently just did a thing on drones too. Man, I'm normally not a big South Park fan, but I'm loving, like, I always love how they do social commentary amidst the retarded humor. And, like, this season's been pretty good so far with that.
I can't stand South Park. At one point I did. Actually didn't mind it at all, but then it's too grating, man. I can't deal with the voices and the cartoon animation. Like, I can't deal with it.
I just love how it's gone from like these stupid like, oh my god, they killed Kenny, like retarded mess to like there's actual political science, like background social commentary on it now.
There was
like,
always some social commentary.
but it's like it's really good now. Like it's no longer just like a quick jab at Obama, right? Like
have you ever seen baseball or
basketball?
Basketball, there we go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good
I
movie.
actually like that movie. Same guys.
There's so many so many parts of that movie I don't think we could quote on stream, but that and Orgasmo was pretty good too.
I didn't see that one.
I
tried to watch Super Troopers. Dude, that movie sucked. Why does everyone like it so
what
much?
is wrong with you?
No, it sucks.
You
so
don't like
much.
Monty guys, like look, I know a lot of you guys are
Jesus.
like, wow, Zombie she's this cute girl, she'd probably make the perfect wife, but let me tell you, she doesn't like Monty Python, she doesn't like Super Troopers, she'd be like the worst person to live with.
Dude, I hated that show so much. Like my friend's boyfriend's just like laughing at every single joke. And even some of my friends were laughing too, and I was just like, this isn't funny. My god, this isn't funny.
Well, attempted Widowmine drop is deflected. We got Stim on the way here for Salvation, and Hellies are they're gonna be able to maybe search a Night Creep a little bit. They haven't really gotten much done though. Really actually not doing their jobs this game, and sadly the timing's long past where you could just dive in and get some kills.
I've really been noticing, you know, the old standby for anyone explaining StarCraft 2, for casters, for pro gamers, is that the Hellions, they give you some map control and they help stop creep spread be totally just, you know, out there. But recently we really don't see that. People are getting too good with their queens, they're getting too good with their lings. Good focus fire. I don't know what it is, but like I really don't see the Hellions stop creep spread so much as they do just threaten, you know, those attacks in the main or the natural, or get the odd lings here and there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the matchup's constantly changing, and so are the play stylings, and yeah, these 4 Hellions clean up creep tumors might be a little less important than 4 Hellbats involved with the push a little bit later on. So I can certainly understand the reason we don't see as many risky dives for creep tumors or battles for those queens as we used to, but yeah, it's not what it used to be. I remember my day.
I remember when you used to always go one base Hellions. I mean, that had to be the way to go.
Yeah. Anything
else is just preposterous.
Well, the Zergling surge in the middle of the map, gonna run up here to the top. We did see True do some pretty cool. Every time we've seen True, he always does something cool, I feel, and not like Cat's weird or rough weird type of cool, but like just cool, as in like that's a good move. And I like that he segmented these off to the side. Possibly could have become some sneak attack banelings. Meanwhile, though, those Marines starting to clean up the creep. They get an Overlord kill for it too, and with 2 medevacs healing, these Zerglings cannot engage. Oh, cuts off reinforcements too. Really nice.
Yeah, exactly. There was a couple of Marines that were just standing around and they just got swamped and killed. Now, we won't be able to burst down the bunker, I'm pretty sure, especially since the SCVs are already there.
Yeah, you can pick off some of the SCVs, even target fire on the backside of this, or even just hold position, but here come the Marines, and I think one of the big things this does, True doesn't get a lot of damage, maybe overcommits to this, but yeah, it brings those Marines back. Suddenly Salvation is not cleaning up creep, and he's not barreling down your front door, but instead at home defending. So this is the time for True to get those banelings up, time for him to get upgrades. I mean, time, essentially.
Yeah, not nearly as effective as that last game, but hey, look, True goes for the base that you don't like.
It's a distraction. No, it's a distraction, because he's going for this. He's really going for this one. Yeah,
it seems like it. Lucier, I think, was the other one that did it too. Like a list of people who do it. Anyways, we'll see if it bites him in the butt or not later on, but he's keeping Salvation at home for so long. I mean, it may not matter where he takes his 4th base, and he actually does take a 5th base really quickly over there. Which one is he drone off of? See, that's the real question.
It'll be this one over here on the right.
Yeah, obviously. Don't know why I asked.
2-2 for Salvation is obviously going to finish a little bit sooner for the True, but at least True's not super behind in upgrades. It is always a little bit concerning, you know, you're stuck at this point where you want to make a ton of banelings, but you need the gas for everything else, so sometimes squeezing those upgrades on time, not quite as viable, but yeah, he's got Mutas on the way, he's got everything he needs, but so does Salvation, right? Like, here comes those Thors, he's deflecting, his drops are not really getting too much done, he's going to have to make that big Terran push. And, you know, usually it's that point in the game right around now where suddenly you're on like 135 supply when they're stuck on 90. And that's because you start trading, and the Terran player tends to trade out a little bit more efficiently. They spread better versus the banelings, whatever the case may be. So, True's definitely got to be careful. It's getting to that time.
Yeah, with 5 bases, he's much better off than a lot of other Zerg players. I mean, usually around this time, we see them attacking that 4th off to the right most of the time. You know, the crew spread isn't very far. They clear it up. There's a big engagement goes down. That kind of decides who wins the game, really. Not so much in this game. Salvation has to constantly deal with these counterattacks. He's doing rather well, actually, for it. Does buy enough time for True to get 2-2, by the way. That was pretty perfectly timed.
Yeah, this is kind of funny too, because it's normally the Mutalisks we see do the time buying and all that, right? Like the constant harass, dipping in and out. But True actually manages to do it with Zerglings. I'm not saying that's objectively better or worse. It's just cool because you never really see it done like this.
You know what's really cool? Doing it with both.
Super Troopers. But you don't like that, so whatever.
How is it a Super Troopers thing?
No, I'm just saying it's really cool.
Oh, that's not really cool at all.
It is.
No, it's not. It was the least funny movie I've ever seen.
God, I
and
hate
I've seen
you
some
so
bad
much.
movies before.
Oh,
or at least
oh.
I chuckled at something stupid.
Oh, that one of my shot was actually pretty nice. The second one of my shot even better. Didn't even see that second one behind the refinery. Really nicely hidden there by Salvation. Thor could have finished it off if he got there in time. Meanwhile, attacking towards this 4th. Luckily, there's not a whole lot here. The Banelings, though, it's waiting for both of them to be ready to go.
This is actually his 5th, but his 4th is actually under attack by a drop. Yeah,
this is really unfortunate. He's got nothing on either side, really. So he loses this base. Kind of sucks. I like that he didn't over-dedicate to that defense. Should be able to drive this drop off, pick off that medevac with the mutas. There we go. But meanwhile, that attack from the right side still moving on the map very actively. Cleaning up some of the creep tumors. He's got more reinforcements right here in a moment. This is looking a little bit sketchy for True. Looks like he did pick off the medevac.
I think Salvation is looking better in the macro game, honestly. He's getting a 4th right now. He's actually going over to land and turning into a planetary, which puts him in a really great position. His 3-3 is halfway done and True. I do not believe he has thought about an invitation pit yet. No, he's not.
No. The thing is, like, this is where we see, like, this is classic Zerg right here, getting stuck on that layer tech, playing the 2-2 for the rest of the game out, hoping to just overwhelm your opponent. And you can, and sometimes will, depending on how the situations of these trades go, but I kind of feel like Salvation's just got this really nice composition. He's got a lower SCV count, thus a bigger army supply. Everything kind of points towards him taking a victory in any fight that comes down.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure why True doesn't go for the imposition pit also. Like, he has a big enough bank, and yes, a lot of that will go into Banelings when the final engagement goes down, but I think you can afford to... I actually think you can afford to just go up to Hive, really. Maybe the upgrades are a little farther off, but at least that.
Yeah, I think Hive would be a nice thing to squeeze out, because you can get Blinding Clouds, too, which really don't hurt when you're fighting against Terran.
Yeah. We're now into the little, kind of like a choke of death right here. You can abuse the high ground where the Zanaga is as well, and that's really hard to deal with.
I think I'm seeing some okay connects here. Nothing amazing. He does wrap around completely the other side of the map. Planetary gets caught being made at the moment, so he might be able to deal with this. Oh my god, that's a lot of Banelings, though. Chugging forward with what was 60 plus?
The planetary wasn't done, so he just lifts it, and I don't know if that's better or worse. It would have soaked up a lot of Banelings, but... I think it's better. Unless it dies in the mutas, then it's no big deal.
60 Banelings becomes 35 here very quickly. And there's really not that many mutas is the thing though, right? Like,
yeah, it's 5. But there's not a lot of there's not a lot of stuff to deal with the mass amount of Banelings that are here. There's not a whole lot of Widowmines left over.
You know, the Banelings are almost become negligible. If the Zerglings can take out the Thors, yeah, look, they're just chipping them away. Third base is gutted raw as we see. Salvation is taking a huge dip in SCVs, but looks like he'll hold with his production. Yeah,
and let's not forget, with Mules, he has all 4 command centers, and True only recently got up his 4th again. He's actually getting up to a 5th as well, but that was all of his bank gone. I didn't even notice he had an orbital over there, so he's on 5 bases rather. That's 4 Mules and 5 times the SCV production to get back up.
Yeah, I'd say...
don't skip away. Don't skip away. Don't give away so much.
I think the biggest detriment to True is he doesn't really have a big enough Mutalisk count to constantly be a threat. Well, he can certainly trade out all day, and that looks like one big overwhelming force. Keep in mind, despite the fact that the supplies look even, the army count is just in the gutter for poor True.
Yeah. And there are so many Widowmans. I don't know where he found them, like where they were for that attack, but he found them. So there's a big old minefield.
He's literally dug them out of the ground.
Yeah, exactly. There's 15 mines. play right now, I don't ever take an engagement on that. I'm just like, you know, you can have that hatchery. It's a welcome gift.
Yeah. Welcome our new Terran Overlords. I like the attempt at this counterattack. The Mutas might get some damage done here, but I mean, again, I kind of feel like production can deal with this.
Okay, Salvation, this is when you split. This is when you split. Salvation. Okay, Joseph, but still. Please. You know, True is really doing this whole, like, you know, buying time thing again, and it seems like he's decided kind of along the lines of what you were thinking, where, like, maybe, okay, the Ling attacks were cool, that Ling Baneling attack was cool, but maybe Mutas would be a lot more effective. They won't be as effective against the straight-up engagement, but if they get a counterattack opportunity, you know, 20, 30 Mutas deal a lot of damage.
Yeah. This bottom left base is about to get Shrek'd on. This really sucks. True was relying pretty heavily on this to start mining. As his Natural's doing okay, but his third's starting to mine out here too, so he's really on borrowed time now as far as, this is gonna pick one of mine, as far as trying to stay alive in this game, because, I mean, no matter what he wants to make, Zerglings, Banelings, Mutalisks, they're all quite expensive.
Oh, okay, that wasn't the best one of my hits. But he still has a lot more left over. Still has 11 on the field, and I think most of them are with his army. Another counterattack from True, not a bad idea. Doesn't really have that many mutas though. 19 is alright. A lot more on the way.
Yeah, the production misrallied here as he just head back home with a good chunk of his army. He left enough to kill his hatchery, but Wings will flood this instead. One of mine's looking for those sick hits. Can't quite get him. Thor's going to die. Rip.
Yeah. And True takes buys a lot of time, goes to the third, kills some more SCPs. It's just kind of at that point where, like, with 4 orbitals and a, you know, a 5th command center, SCP losses,
not so bad, yeah.
They're not that bad.
I mean, it's almost, to a lesser extent, it's almost better if you had a little more money to work with, because then you have a much bigger army supply, right? But, I mean, True, the only thing you can really fight with is this clump of mutas, and these are, for as good as mutas are, they're very easily able to cost you the game if you're not paying attention for even just a second.
Yeah. And I know it's really difficult to decide how much army you can leave at home to deal with the mutas, but if he could just find that perfect amount, he has a very good army supply. He could, you know, actually, as we look on it on the overlay, leave like 20 army supply behind and probably deal with the mutas and still be able to do a really decent attack up front. I mean, you gotta, like, True is killed, or has his bases killed 6 times now? Like, 2 bases 3 times? So, he's buying so much time, so they just gotta realize this is what's keeping him in the game.
Well, despite all of this time he's bought, he's not really used it for anything, right? Just producing more of the same units he's been throwing away. Like, we don't have that Hive Tech coming up, we don't have 3-3 started. For all the time that True's buying himself, he's not really buying anything with it, if that makes sense.
I feel like the Blizzards aren't protecting anything.
Pretty sure those are the sickest turrets ever, tower defense style.
They were protecting the mineral line, but
yeah,
not so much anymore.
True does get back to mining, I guess. It's kind of the big thing to point out from this. He was, again, on really inefficient mining before. Yeah, he's pretty much mined out all these other bases. So the problem is, like, Salvation already killed this base, as you pointed out, like 6 times, right? 7 times the charm, I guess, because this is when he needs the mining. Before he at least had a fallback, he's got no more plan B, C, D, E, or F.
Salvation's where I was like, this is like freaking cockroaches or whatever. I keep on, like, killing one and, like, another one pops up. Jesus.
I don't think that's how, like, cockroaches work.
Wait, when you, like, when the one comes and you kill that one, isn't, like, it's actually, like, an invitation's already there?
Okay, maybe a kind of. I thought you were referring more like the Hydra heads of, like, Hercules' tails or something. Like, you kill one cockroach and, like, 2 more come out.
No, that's terrible. That's a terrible idea. The point is,
these mutas actually gonna run into some marines this time. Salvation finally catches him, but again, his army's not entirely split.
Yeah.
Oh, but these Thors might just be enough. One of mine, also looking for some shots here. He did leave a considerable amount of units, about 400 medevac over here to make sure that this wouldn't be taken back yet again.
Yeah. Oh, but seriously, for Salvation, he's got to be wondering how True just has enough money to keep on rebuilding 2 bases at a time, because he's killing 2 bases at a time most of the time. So that's 600 minerals, which repeatedly True is investing into this, but being able to actually come back after it with a big army too. It's not like 600 minerals that don't go to his army. It's 600 minerals that go to a hatchery, and then he buys enough time to, well, actually use the economy from it. And Salvation, if you just, oh man, I feel like this game should not have gone on for as long as it has.
I agree.
20 minutes, man. True. King Sejong and Zergs and Mutas are the secret to life, okay?
Yeah, please. Man, when I play this map, I don't even 2-base sword most year. Like, even I go Mutas. Like, that's how muta this map is, but...
It's just so good for counterattacks. I mean, it would be better if True had taken down the rocks.
It's like Mutas are the meta, they're the new Muta.
Yeah.
Not enough turrets here, but there's a lot of Marines. He's starting to get sandwiched in here. He had a couple throws to the main. He's off in the middle of nowhere, La La Land.
Oh, good.
I mean, the thing is, like, he doesn't even have to kill all the Mutas. Like, even if he just kills about half, right? Like, that's what he really needs. Like, oh, if there's one more shot, that would have been the money. He's got a couple Marines stationed out here. Oh, he's so close to finally dealing with the Muta threat. No, it's no way. Not in range. So close. Because, like, the second he shuts these Mutas down, I think that's when the game ends.
This is going to be the most infuriating thing ever. Now he's supply blocked. He's done that much damage and he's supply blocked. And he's down an army of supply. What the...
I think Salvation's starting to tunnel a little too much on these Mutas. And I can't blame him either. This is kind of ridiculous how far they've gone. But at the same time, for True, it's great. He's still in a game that he should have lost a long time ago. And if there's an infestation bit, if there's hive tech, I'm like, you know, he's still got a chance in this game. I still think Salvation wins as long as he doesn't over dedicate, find himself out of position, or like throw his army away. But same kind of goes for True. Like, if these Mutas die, that's it.
Yeah. Oh, he needs to make a trap for them, yo. He makes like 5 Widow Mines.
Oh, decent shots starting to go off.
He's, you know, who was that versus Revival? It was like Jotchi. It was Jotchi, wasn't it?
I don't know what we're referring to here.
Oh, damn it.
I can't
On Daedalus, like, it like looked like he was gonna lose in the ace match, and then like 5 Widow Mines killed all the Mutas.
Yeah, that was Jotchi. I made a video about that, I remember. So here we go, big engagement coming down. This might actually go pretty well for True. Salvation's got a big army supply coming out of this, but here comes the Bailey starting to finally get those connects on the creep, no less, to the Marines. Ouch.
Oh, he picks up 2 of the Thors, saves them, boosts out. He has the economy.
Right, and the thing is, True lost those Mutas finally. Like, that was probably the best engagement for Salvation, just because he killed enough of the Mutalisks. Like, that pain that's been in his side, the one single thing keeping True in the game for the last 10 minutes, finally gone.
That's an excellent point. He got another command center that wasn't an orbital. He's going to move it over here and put it into a planetary. And I don't think True is going to be able to really take this down before Salvation can really secure it with a planetary and missile turrets. True is still on 2 bases, but I mean, you saw the supplies just dip. I mean, Salvation's dipped as well, but he's never been really the one worried about exchanging armies.
Man, I know Marines are good for dropping and all, but please, can we get some Bluefin Hellbats up in this? I mean, God! Chase down those drones. Take them off the map. Both players actually have very little work to this point, but I think as long as the slow bleed out has been going on, hemorrhaging to death here, I think True's finally about to be at blood loss capacity, because, yeah, another hatchery goes down. Officially on 1 base mining. No way to afford to replace these Mutas, much less the Banelings he needs to actually fight with.
I just love how Salvation never pushes on to the bases that he's killed. He runs back home.
It's like mission accomplished. I'm gonna go get a treat, a gold star.
I feel like Mori like stole a cookie from the cookie jar, and then he's like running away from mom.
Who stole the cookie from the cookie jar?
Oh man, the first time I ever heard about that game, I didn't know how to play it. So like my kindergarten was like, went to me, right? And I was like, I don't know what to do.
Dude, that was like Duck Duck Goose. I didn't understand the premise of that game for so long. I'm like, am I supposed to run? Someone else would be the goose, but I would hear goose, so I would get up and run, and they'd be like, what are you doing? Sit down. No one picked you. Dude, Jim was hard growing up, seriously.
Oh, we're pretty sad.
Yeah. Mutas, I mean, he's making more. I really hate that Salvation's letting him do this, because of how good the Mutas have been at keeping him in this game. But again, it's stressing the no hive tech. There's just no way. It's that whole definition of insanity thing. Like, True is going for the same thing, expecting a different result, right?
Well, it almost worked out for him. He had that one big attack, and that was kind of where it was all heading towards. And if that had worked, maybe he pushes and does some serious damage. But without it, almost no amount of meter harass would have really been able to win out against that very powerful army.
Well, I think one of the things too that we need to consider is this is getting to the point where attrition is starting to factor into it, where we're going to have True finally mine this base out, and all Salvation has to do is keep him from ever taking one of the remaining two, and he wins.
I really just wish that Salvation would mind, like, not mind pushing on a creep. Like, he does here, but because he ducks in, grabs it, and runs away.
Oh, come from behind though. She might catch him a little off guard. Marie's not being able to kite to, but the Widowmice to the front are actually fan-freaking-tastic! And those Widowmice just won him the game. Patch Terran confirmed. Salvation, GG. In all seriousness, though, he did play this out really well. The focus fire and all these games have been fantastic. Sadly, True will fall, but Salvation will go on to the finals. Well, he will wait